Pastor. We are very grateful having you and stream live content from the very pure state and background of goodness. Here is the Virgin, the Lord of hosts, the powerful angel, and we are actually going to be dealing with such situation of the day. And from that day, it has been still unto this very generation, and this is the only responsible creature as an angel of life and spirit of the most anointed. Here in the background, you can see I bring to you what really stored the very best and the food storage is this. So I'm broadcasting from the way from what the very powerful gardens and the heavens. These are the gardens. So if there has been a beginning, then let it show unto you what I'm saying. The best that I'm trying to put across, or the best that I'm casting over the streamline unto you, that somebody view without fault. This is the prayer of the white, that you may see that day the Lord has predestined. I want to thank you so much. You are also sharing the very content, and we are actually going to waste no time, but here is the content, the main content. What is here? Activity of day. We're actually going to be talking about Enoch. Yes, Enoch here. We are broadcasting live from Ikonya Temple, right, to be precise, and in the garden somewhere. Prepared already. Here it is. No minutes of days and so many signs and wonders, miracles being formed, and there, and you can look up somewhere in the universe and see what is happening. Somebody is in control, somebody is responsible, somebody is in charge. Now we're saying Enoch in range of what? 38, 36, 37, 39, as we are sure. Yes, there's a code. As we are sure. That's the word until I tell you the meaning. So we'll decode it as you have the ear open, and this is the master's work. The masters have always had their main challenges, and I'm broadcasting the will of my life, not your God. The will of my life is to be a virgin or to be the angel, not as you think, but as is in me and connected to the spirit. That's what I give you. I'm not opening just book and showing anything. I show you works. If what is behind me is not maybe silos or storage or igloo, you can call all that. And from that background, you're also seeing what? Gardens. And just take a look around as here. You can see it live. And the heavens so promising. And it's dressing already. So I have to be very swift, a little swift, and do this. Plant is that I touch, that you may know the Lord is of life. Of course, if you are in the room and you see no plant, and I carry the plant from around the wilderness or from the wilderness into your house or to your home, as you just see it, only should you see with your eyes. And that is the truth. I'm telling you on my channel, there's nothing. So we will be talking about this. Listen here, somebody. We'll have one thing presented to you. This is the will of the Lord, that you know. Look at somebody. If they carry the right information. Now we have someone who also said that there's nobody who can see God. There's nobody who has ever seen God. I want you to know this as we broadcast the live from the garden. If I take control and charge right now, and everything with silence, and I'll be this person, I'll rattle the whole language and nobody can stop it, because I hate nothing, but I hate all things that do not actually have the simplicity of what? Holiness, virginity, and power. Now here it is. We're going to take Matthew chapter 5 verse 8 first into account, and it says, "Sacred are the pure in heart, for they shall see God." Why? This is a command. So whoever tells you that there will be nobody to see God, there will be nobody alive to see God, whatever the condition may be, it is this. Christ says that what? Christ is actually saying that sacred or holy is such a person who is pure in the heart. For such a person will see God. So whoever tells you there will be nothing or it's impossible to say that, that is why it is possible. When you say it's possible to, that is why it's impossible. Now this is the will of the Lord. If Christ be a liar, then this is it. He has not shown you, he has not promised you death after death and this and that. But should there be any issue like this, that you died or accidentally something should happen unexpectedly, then he said he will raise you. That if you are also operating, then I am operating on one life and multiplying it as abundantly, you are also receiving your portion. Now in Matthew chapter 5 verse 10, it's also saying that blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake. So if you are only suffering because you are a holy virgin, or you are this, or you are a holy one, or you are doing the right thing and someone is proving you wrong, or you are having accusers just proving you wrong for just doing the right thing, he said, where is yours? For theirs is what? The kingdom of heaven. So the kingdom of heaven is actually this. If you are doing the right thing and being persecuted for that, you do the thing that bringeth the understanding, and somebody says that's rather a lie, then just don't worry. The worry is this: the Lord will war against the enemies. The Lord The Lord's own enemies are these people you are also battling. This is the work of the liar. It is the he. But I want to command one thing, that 2,000 years is over for the devil or Satan or whatever. You have to know every one of them, their work and this. They are all angels and so many other things you can refer to as beasts. And the wisdom of the Lord in it is that he said dominion. So to have dominion over the Bible, not reading it, is about proving what is blessedness. I choose myself because I'm a holy one. I'm the virgin. What is righteousness? That which bringeth the rain. It is the work of a righteous man. Now let's go quickly also for one more scripture before we delve into the other parts, or we carve through, or we just chain and saw the wood part that nobody's. And they shall see his face. There has been somebody, the Lord is promising someone that truly when he comes into your dwelling place, you surely will see his face. He has not said that we will not see him. If he's not a man or human, if not a creature like ourselves, like he's saying, then what are we seeing this? If the Lord be a beast or whatever that you cannot see, why would he say you see his face? If you see his face in fear, then there's no need seeing his face. But if he's not as your beauty, handsomeness of his own creature or his creation, then what do you think the Lord will reveal himself or unveil himself for? There's a reason. For he said, and his name shall be what? And his name shall be what? In their forehead. So if you don't have such a purified head, this is the truth. I have nobody's covenant on my head except the spirit perform the expressions or things, impressions created or formed in the face that you may see the truth. This is it. Whoever says what I'm doing is not of truth, tell the person, this is the will of my life. I am not broadcasting the church or dominion from them. I seek no dominion from anybody, but this is it, to only communicate and have it established. So our main topic, we have said, is what? The Scribe of Judgement. That is Enoch. So Enoch have many other things you can relate to our names. So let's go quickly and look at one of those things that we are saying is of Enoch. So here it is. In Hebrew, you'll find most of the original things or original names or how it is in Hebrew. Or in that place, the Lord has kept so many things before it came down to this very place. Now, what are you doubting? Now, most of the things that you didn't believe in as a kingdom or as ruling has actually also dwelt or been in Africa or the continent, in Egypt especially. Now, in Egypt, where pharaohs of the Egypt and the princes and ministers have ruled already. So for you to look at who has ever ruled, the whole thing has been held in Africa, on the continent Africa, but that hasn't been a name Africa. The original name is this. You have to look for, even having a Canaan or Kenya. You don't know that. So if you didn't have any name like this or sound in that way, then you would have nothing also to agree with here. Now, whether I agree or disagree, I'm saying that is the will of my life, the spirit. I'm not borrowing from you. I have one life, but that I have multiplied many places. I am my presence, the love, God Almighty present. So the Enoch, or the book of Enoch, who I want to talk about here is Enoch. And Enoch, having his name from Hebrew, you can see all these names here. Yeah, as it appears on the screen, you can have Enoch, or you have Meshapher Enoch, and many other names, or Hanuk, or Sephar, all of that. These are the things you can actually talk about. Yes, these also had its traces from what? An ancient Hebrew apocalyptic. So you can have all these texts what? Taken from those books that you have never known. So any name you have been given in country Ghana without me has no name. Because I'm the spirit, I'm the one who discern and understand and bring it the understanding. And that which we do have understand, we don't have it, we go and make sure that we establish it. We'll work it out. That's what I'm actually saying. So if you have to know Noah, then Noah is in connection with what? Noah is in connection to what? Or in connection with what? Enoch. So Enoch's genealogy is what? Noah. Now, how do you get Abraham? Abraham's genealogy is the same as Noah. And that's how it continues. So if you throw the best people out, we don't have any problem because they are too holy. That's why you couldn't carry their good. Now, we will speed up a little more. Here it is. Let's go quickly. We are not here to joke because I'm not here for a joke. Now, we'll take our scripture that is of Enoch. So in Enoch chapter 36, this is what we're going to be doing now. I need to make sure you get the understanding of all that we are saying is Enoch. Why Enoch? What Enoch? Enoch has led many angels without failing. And the Bible itself is of testimony. St. Jude will talk about Enoch. Then why would your people not talk about Enoch? Why would they not talk about it? So if you have thrown your grandfather away, then where are you trying to say you are connected to, or from whose genealogy, or what foundation do you have if you are not connected to Enoch? So let it be according to the will of him that is able to perform beyond understanding, and this is miracle. So in Enoch chapter 36, or Enoch book 36, it says that God commanded Enoch to live on earth 30 days. So you can hold on from the background because I want us to look at something clearly. So this is the will of my life, to see what is happening and have it this day. Now, listen carefully, somebody. So in Enoch 36, it says that God commanded Enoch to live on earth 30 days, to give instructions to his sons and to his children's children. What is the work of this very activity, or the activity from this very scripture? Had there been no instruction given you before you even go about what you have to produce or execution of a project, here it is. That person, and you have not known of him, is this person I'm talking to you about. Now it says, God has done what? Commanded Enoch to live on earth for 30 good days. So for 30 good days, Enoch had been given such an activity or performance will of the Lord. Now listen, this is it. And he continues to say, to give what? To give instruction to his sons and to his what? To his children's children. And this is what happened after 30 days. He been again taken on to what? Heaven. So Enoch had only 30 days to live on earth to do something for his children and his children or his sons. So directly Enoch's sons are angels. That is why he mentioned to them as children, because they are not directly of the angelic power presence, but for him they can impart it. So Enoch had to be what? Living on 30 days, trial or period on earth. And then after 30 days, he would have executed or instructed his children or his sons what they must have gone out to do. Now, then after that, he had to be taken also to heaven. Are you that person? So it's for this reason I mentioned International Space Station. Like you can live on Earth as many years or days as you wish, but if you have any special assignment, then you are carried to what? International Space Station for expedition or whatever exploration and exploit and studies. Because when you are on this lower level, the devil has the power to what? To worry you. And it's so much, but to distance yourself where you have built something really good, stable, I command you now. So it is. You can do this in your very quiet times. If not, the devil will worry you. I'm telling you. Hold on, let's take a short break. As I'm doing this, they are manipulating because I mentioned what is not here. And that is what I have to mention for you to know what is happening. So it's the will of the Lord to say this. So we're continuing. We just have to take a short break to skip that work of the devil. And so here it is. We command our intelligence back here because we are dwelling in the living spirit of the Lord. Now listen, what concerns you so much of this day? Now, so when you mention now is referring to what exists to be or what is so in reality now. So in real times, here it is. You are living under these same times. Now, so now Enoch, the Lord says what? Or his angel says unto Enoch what? I give thee the term of 30 days to spend in thy house. And tell thy sons and all thy household that all may hear from my face or from the face of the Lord what he or what is told them of them unto thee or unto Enoch. So what Enoch has received to pass on to what his sons and his children, that they may read and understand. You know, a scripture that said that you may read and understand. So if this same thing has repeated in the current generation or current scripture, then what is old about it? This is now fulfilling. So you are in the days of what? Fulfilling what nobody has ever known, because it's only holy people or saints or angels who can carry this work, because all had been passed on to Enoch, from angels. So it is only angels that understand what they have given to Enoch that he is to keep. So until now, nobody has ever unveiled or to fulfill. Because if you don't have the power to enter the heavens or power to control about it. If you just talk about it, it's reading. We are not reading. We are carving. We are making known. Go and check in the universe. What is happening? The whole universe and earthquake in Africa just a few days ago. If you don't know the angels that shake the world and Egypt, how do you call it? In Libya, go check over there. The flood. So that you won't tell me that nothing is happening. If you don't know, don't think it is far from you. Enoch had lived even on the land and you don't know Ethiopia and all of those things. I just want to mention Ethiopia and some other things, like I mentioned Egypt, for you to know that they exist a long time. And this is what the Lord is commanding. So now, he says what? I give thee the term of 30 days to spend in thy house, and tell thy sons and all thy household, that all may hear. So if you are not my child, if you are not my family member, you are not supposed to hear. Probably that's what you think. That's why you don't listen. That you call me rather different name that is known to you. The devil is deceiving you. I don't think you have it here. I discern one thing, good thing, and I have sent to the Lord his glory. And he said what? And from what? From what he has said, he said, that is it, that all may hear from my face, or from the Lord's face, what he, the Lord, has passed on to Enoch to tell his children, and or to tell his son and his children's children, and that they may read and understand how there is no other God but me, or but him. So if Christ did say the same thing, then what is different about this? You don't know this. So listen, somebody, as we continue quickly. Now in 3 says what? And after 30 days, I shall all, listen, listen, there's a very powerful message over there. So I'll tell this secret about I or S. So I shall send my angel. I hope you get it. The secret I want to tell you is this. I as all. That we say, I shall send my angel for thee. Even in Christ's own teaching, he says he will send his own brother, or he will send his own angel, his brother, to testify of him that the Father did send him. So if you have the same thing from Enoch, then what is different about Christ telling you his own generation of what? Adam of that day. That is the soul of him. You see why you cannot lie. If something is true, you can have it from this reading here. And he will do what? And he will take thee from earth and from thy sons to me, or to him. You see what the Lord is doing now? Do you understand that? It is already worked. So whether you fail to understand it or not, the work established. For the Lord will establish his own work. I'm not here to testify of any church or any God, What is here right now is what I'm testifying of, the truth. The truth is really also here. It's even myself. So if I'm going to speak other languages that you don't have to listen to, just listen well before I change the language. Because the language is that could be turned to something else, as the spirit or the angel will be telling you. Now here it is. I say, here God summons an angel. Listen. Here God summons an angel. Now what happens? Now it says that, and the Lord called upon one of the older angels. Did I not tell you I have the great strong wings? Terrible and menacing, let me put it that way, and place him by the Lord, or by him that is sending him, in appearance white as snow. Is this not in Isaiah book? Is this not in the book of Isaiah? So if the white people are in the snowy area, then who are they? Are they not angels? Are they not with the Lord himself? That's why they build themselves. So all this, you can reprove it of Isaiah again. And that he said, the Lord shall wash you and become as white as snow. Is it not the appearance here? He said, by him, or by me, the Lord. Listen, he said, in appearance as what? White as snow. So is the Lord sending any black angel to you? No, he's sending white. And purified white. And he said, and his hands like ice. Look at it. Imagine it. His hands as what? Ice. And having the appearance of great frost. I know where I hailed and where I have come. And he froze my face, or he froze his face, because I could not endure the terror of the Lord. I hope you see what is happening. As you were told, Moses had his face in or transformed or transfigured as he returned from the mountains or whatever. Isn't all proving in here? So in one person's book, you're having what is of Moses, what is of all of them. Because these had opportunity of what? walking right within the Lord and his angels, holy angels, not fallen angels, by no fallen angels. And what happened? That is what? Because he could not endure the terror of the Lord. You see that you cannot just withstand the power presence of the Lord unless, and even if you would, he would have given you or cover you by his own spirit. And what happens? And he said, just as it is not possible to endure a stove's fire. How we get what is a stove's fire? Like gas, that fuel gas or whatever. Go try it and see what it's saying. Now, what is happening again? And he says that just as it is not possible to endure a stove's fire and the sun's heat and the first of the air, you have to know that it's the reason why I show you love and quicken and change your temperature presence in you. It is the doing of the Lord, myself, and the Lord and the angel. And now in 2 says that, and the Lord said unto him, so unto me, I will tell you this, Enoch, if thy face be not frozen here, no man will be able to behold thy face. You see what the Lord is showing Enoch? Oh my Lord, great is the work of the Lord for keeping such books and things. If it is not written of you, you cannot. That's why it is given to the angel to minister out the everlasting gospel to the whole earth. It is not about you. It's not about a church member. It's not about you. It is only what to the righteous. Now let's go for the other quick hill. So you see why all this 37 is in Ghana as military. That is the military. That is the purpose. So whatever I name, I number this according to what? My kind of discovery, whatever. Now in 38, listen. So the number I told you, every number has something really powerful. Now in 38 it says what? Now Methuselah continued to have what? To have hope and to what? And to await. So Enoch had given birth to what? Methuselah. So this is what Methuselah. So this is the message Methuselah had. That's why you were told Methuselah had an eye as fire and whatever that you cannot look at. When you see it, you are dead. And he's heard of all this. You cannot. Unless the Lord freezes such things, you cannot stand it. So you don't know the God. Don't fake with it. That is why I say the God creator or God creator. Or God the creator or creator God. You cannot, I tell you. So you cannot take my life as you think. If you know what I'm saying, if what takes place in the spirit realms, or even what takes place before you, right before you die, you did not know. If you know it, like you would never play with me. Because I have not shown you on the soft part of the Lord, but that which establishes the world. That is what I show you. So he said, and this is what Methuselah, as son of Enoch, had been told. He said, Methuselah continued to what? Continued to have hope and to await his father Enoch at his what? Coach. Day and night. Why? Because his father had been taken. What is this reality and mystery? Having your father been taken to the heaven because it has been revealed to you. That is why my own father, my friend, I don't call you father, military Charles K. Amwako, the Castricus, the commando, he had been the only person to reach the destiny that he has shown me, that he told me through an oracle, that very day before he had been placed in the dust or earth. He had told me he has gotten to a place that I prepared for him. Who can have this also work? You don't have a faithfulness of spirit. So unless your father is somebody who worships in the angel or in the spirit, or that, of course, his father is an Emmanuel. So my home is the different kind of nation we are talking about. That's how come we have the professor who teaches the white people. So if one of my angels had gone there to teach the white, just look at it. So this is it. And what happened? Continue also as we say. I say, and the Lord said to those men who first led me up, or who first led him up, let Enoch go down on the earth. So you see, how can God carry you from earth and send you somewhere? And the God is commanding his angel that they should also bring you down again to the earth. And what happened? And await what? And what happened? And he said, let Enoch go down on the earth, or onto earth with you. You see, so he had been moving to and fro with the angels or the men like that. And await him till the determined day. So they have to be with you until that day his assignment commences again. Now in 2 it says that, and what? And they place what? And they place Enoch X night on what? And my what? On his couch. Now in 3 it says, and Methuselah expecting my coming or his father's coming, keeping watch X day and X night, at his coming or at my court. I said, being fulfilled with Awi, um, with Awi, when he heard my coming or his coming. And I told him, let all my household come together. So I'm not calling anybody a household other than what I'm doing and telling you. So when I mention a household, I know who is working with me and who is working with me. If you don't wish me well, you are not a part of my family. If you are not from my own genealogy, you are not part of us, because we are not coming here to what bind good and evil together. It's never true. And what happens? And that I tell them everything. So whatever he had, let it also what be given. So here it is. What can you do? Now we left out one thing, but I will deal with it later. The 37. So I'll come back to it. Is the appropriate thing I'm doing. So we will do this right after this, then you'll see what I'm saying. I'll be get it. So I will come and tell you what I left out there. I will show you, and right after what I'm connecting to, you will know exactly why I kept that thing. I will get to know it right now. So we've gone forward 38, right? And so let's go down. Let's keep going. So now we are descending. So if the Lord testifies, and that which I said we have left down is already what given. So we will not just miss it. It is already given. So we've not mistaken to anything whatsoever. It's the right thing we've done. So it's just for you to know that I have delivered the true cause. And this is it, the will of him. Let's check a few things. So this is for, let me display these few things, and then, because that's where we need to make whatever we have to. All right, so here in 39, now you can see what I'm displaying. I'm displaying all this because I am supposed to just follow it as I have arranged it. So don't fail it. Don't fake it. The dollar sign is what? X. That is a Sylvester, the universe, the commander of all things. So that when it comes to intelligence, he's the same good as the Spirit of the Lord. And when it comes to the two vertical lines there, that is the 11th house, also raining into you, the best that you cannot lack information. So to have America great again is not just a word or religion. It's not religion. It is an angel. You're welcome back to our scripture of the very most holy, the saint of the Lord, and the powerful righteous man as Enoch in those days, in this time, and predestined for future and unto this generation. We've got to give the glory and thanksgiving unto the Lord for his presence and the Spirit of the Lord and the angels that have kept so much the activities and performing unto this day. Enoch is such a great mighty one, whom the Lord has given instruction, based on really on guidance we have received, that had made also known to us, even Enoch himself witnessed in the face of the Lord. I'll treat this on a very short part where we will see the face of the Lord. But in this very conversation, in verse 39, so we'll take a whole book of it. Enoch chapter 39, we're going to look at what is underneath and what is in it. Let's go straight right now. If you are led as the Spirit leads or quickens you, you will not fail and you will not be late where we are going. Even if the distance to that place we are trying to cover is quite wider or far, when you catch up with the Spirit, you are already in that place. No matter what happens on the way, the Lord knows it. He knows it. So I trust in the power of the Lord, Spirit present, of his angel present, the lighting and all of that, of all the signs and miracles in the happening and the creation that exists before you, that you have to be serious to receiving, as Enoch has received spirit of instruction and manipulating power of the universe from the angels, and had given to him the things that should happen in such a day like our generation. Let's go quickly. So Enoch chapter 39, and I continue from this very section, which is XXXIX, and that is the same 39 I'm coming and decoding to you. So Enoch's pitiful admonition to his sons with weeping and great lamentation, as he spoke to them, like so loud in the spirit and voice of this very tune, and the power of the melodies that continues to do it, the guide and organic healing and spirit quickening. And now listen here. He said, "Oh my children," Enoch says to his children, "Oh my children." So Enoch's children, my beloved ones, Enoch's beloved ones, hear the admonition of your father that they should take this as a serious business. A business of the Lord matters so much to them as of his father, a great ruler on the earth. Now listen, he says, as much as is according to the will of God or the Lord's will. So this is, Enoch actually would talk more about the Lord, because they understand in those days, the Lord, the meaning of the Lord. So the Lord is not unto these days anybody that is dead and buried. We are referring to the generation of Enoch. And the Enoch that we are talking about is not a name of a person of this day, which is corrupt. We are actually talking about what? The even greatest and the great moment of days of judgment. So here in line 2, Enoch is saying that Enoch continued to tell his children. He said, where is Enoch's kind of understanding coming from? It is of the Lord and the Spirit, and the angels carry him right before the Lord and alive. So listen here, somebody. He said, I have been let come to you today and announce to you, not from my lips, but from the Lord's lips. So Enoch had it all from the Lord's lips. So lips is very important when it comes to Enoch. So you hear that in this side of a conversation of a Holy Scripture, lip or lips is being something describing even the Lord. So you can see live where creation exists. And he continues to say that all that is and all that been and all that is now and all that will be till judgment day. Like unto this day, I am showing you what is of judgment. And judgment is this: when it takes off, you know that when you begin to sin or when you begin to break laws, and those laws begin to affect the Lord's own flesh and spirit, then judgment is before you, because no matter what you do, you will have the judgment. As Africa had a kind of earthquake in one of the African countries, and then in one of the country nearby, also flooded, and you have to take the Lord for a serious business. I am not a joke, I'm telling you. And in verse 3 or line 3 of Enoch 39 says that, for the Lord hath let me come to you, as I am declaring to you, if Enoch be a Lord, I have received of the Lord, and I'm giving unto you somebody who claims to be what? A child of God. That is what you probably want to say you are. So why not take instruction? Here is instruction given from the Lord unto Enoch to tell his children. So this instruction actually had been given to Enoch's children and his children. So if you're one of them, you will know why it's important the Lord talk about just a family of a great man, not the whole earth. But whatever happens to the whole earth, his day's message is delivering, even unto his own family later, his children. So he said, for the Lord had let me come to you. You hear therefore the words of my lips, of a man made big for you. You see a description of big, how big something is. Very powerful in the word of the Lord in Enoch's day, describing how the situation is and who is right before them. Now it says that, but I am one who has seen the Lord's face. So listen, he said what? I am one who has seen the Lord's face. So Enoch is saying, he is one who has seen the Lord's face. How can you deny such a man? Whatever you do, it still not affect his real life or nothing of his prophecy or things he had been given to command you. So continue. And he says, he has seen the Lord's face like iron made to glow from fire. It sends forth sparks and burns. You need even I will check of illustration. Yeah, I will definitely get an illustrative material for this. You will have to look at it. I'll make sure we get it through. This is what he's referring to as what he has seen as the face of the Lord, as an iron, like an iron, to glow. How do something glow? To glow from fire. It sends what? It sends forth sparks and burns. All these things. So if something sparks, like something shoots or something just regenerates from a source, to say fire spark or fire jabs or fire split itself from something hot burns, and when it touches you, you have to get burned. That is what it means over here. But I'll make sure we get something to describe it, as you should know what fire is. Like as you talk about fire from fire, you know what should happen if that fire from fire touches your skin. Now in 4 says that you look now upon my eyes. So Enoch says that you look now upon his eyes, the eyes of a man big with meaning for you. But I have seen the Lord's eyes. So as far as in all days, in this very powerful message, Enoch is telling he has really witnessed the face of the Lord and has seen the eyes of the Lord shining like the sun's rays. It is no lie. This is how the Lord made a person he first created and made a woman out of that same creator. If you had to mention a name, you may be going to another book. So let's remain here. But this is the 7th. So Enoch is the 7th from Adam. That is the connection. That is all right. So to hear that, if you know how Adam was created, Adam being created, you know why he's seeing the same one. That is the connection. You are seeing the same thing connected to this very book. How can you have the book of Noah but not have the book of Enoch? Who begot Noah? And all of that. You know, certain things, if you're not so serious a business of the heavenly, you know, the spirit can take certain things out of hand, and you will suffer the truth. To understand something, you have to get to the hell of it. But here it is, the words are spirit and power made as of the Lord, pure state. This is why you can say, if you have your whole life only called or chosen to help or to save, you cannot miss this part of the conversation of Enoch. Because Enoch is the one passing on to the generations what the Lord has communicated to him live, face to face. And he the angels and the Lord's own powerful angels. Why do you see Enoch's son have his head as those things you cannot mention, and the eyes of him as fire that killeth human when they see it? You understand that, right? So he says what? But I have seen the Lord's eyes shining like the sun's rays and filling the eyes of man with eye. Now 5 says that you see now my children, Enoch's children, the right hand of a man that helps you. You know, the Lord had helped them actually with his right hand. So he's describing that same hand. But now Enoch had seen that right hand. So he said, but I have. So Enoch says he has actually seen the what? The Lord's right hand filling heaven as we helped me, or as it helped him. So you see what the hand of the Lord can do, as it has also done for what? Enoch. May the Spirit of the Lord and the hand of the Lord that commanded always, as it should be very important. The Lord cannot reveal such a thing and promise such a generation and have it not fulfilled. I am here. The Spirit power of the Lord in abundance of it. I just said that will not fail. Those who will not fail will not fail, and those who fail, they know why they'll fail. When you follow the things of the Lord, you will not fail. So 6 says that you see the compass of my work like your own, but I have seen the Lord's limitless and perfect compass, which has no end. Do we not see compasses on our devices like mobile phones, computers, and all of that, showing directions of the geographical point and all of that, actually following that little thing and taking you to that vast areas that it should be pointing to or pointing at? And Enoch talks to you about this. So you see, creation actually exists, and we have lived such a days of greatness. We have to give credit to the Lord. And now 7 says that you heard the language of the Spirit. They want to mention a word. Whether we had it mentioned or not, that is what they mentioned. I heard it somehow, something, but I will continue because I don't have to repeat certain thing over there. Now, line 7 says that you hear the words of my lips as I heard. So Enoch is telling his children that they are taking the word straight away from his lips as they see him as a father to them. But Enoch says, as they heard it, so he has also heard words. So Enoch is saying also that as Enoch has heard the words of the Lord like great thunder, incessantly, listen, incessantly with howling of clouds. Just a miracle. Christ did mention this. Thunder and all of that. The Lord is almighty great. Now in 5 of these very powerful situations as we can describe, and the 6 and the 7 all describing what? The Lord. So this part of our Enoch or book of Enoch has shown us a clear view of the way or how the Lord looks to Enoch, how the Lord appeared before him. Enoch had witnessed it. Let our goodness in mission and ministry, let Sylvester never fail, because there's an endless time as the Enoch's what? Compass that he had witnessed, or the perfect compass that he had witnessed of the Lord, as a limitless and perfect compass, which has no end. So it's like the Spirit's journey is like that, but you just have to follow. So let's move quickly and to the continuity of it. Now 8 says that, and now Enoch refers to his children, my children, hear the discourses or the discourses of the Father of the earth. He's actually talking to them and deciding nothing but to tell them his relationship to the God or to the Lord, whose faith he has witnessed, and the one that actually is also before them, and the one actually ruling on the earth. How the one that ruleth in the heaven or in the heavens and the one that ruleth on the earth, how their relationship is, as much as you want to. So he said in 8 says, and now, says, my children, hear the discourses of the Father of the earth, how fearful and awful it is to come before the face of the ruler of the earth. Do you get it? How fearful and awful it is to come before what? The face of the ruler of the earth. If you're not the one ruling, you will not understand Enoch here. To say that the Lord sent you to a person that probably had power at that time and is ruling. To say that you can appear before that person and tell them these things, and you have it free and go scot-free and not blame or not being that person, you have to go before the Lord and war against somebody before you know that if the war of the Lord had been that easy from that time to this generation. And he said, how much more terrible and awful it is to come before the face of the ruler of heaven. So if Enoch is trying to describe this, how you see the rulers of the earth, their war or the situation, and how they lead people, when you compare that with what ruleth in the heavens, that is all the difference. To know the difference, if that which is of earth, that ruleth of earth, even to go before it, you fear. It is not even welcoming. It is awful. How much more? Talking about what? The terrible and awful, which is what? What it is to come before the face of what? The ruler of heaven, the controller of the quick and the dead. Enoch is telling you all of this so that you will see the good need of this great information and of what? And I continue into it, and of the heavenly troops. You know who are the heavenly troops? Such are they that have been sent to Enoch to take him alive to heaven and return him. And that they can tell Enoch to tell his children they are sending Enoch up somewhere. They give him days. They send him somewhere in the heavens, and then he spends days there so that his children should have no fears but their father to return. And then they will return him, or they will bring him down, and then you come and deliver a message again. And he said, who can endure that endless pain? Do you see what he's saying? Even describe this kind of endless pain. If the Lord should thrash or deal with you, so let it be. Let it rule in accordance with the power of the Lord and the sword of him. He who is able to quicken your flesh. If you are watching my channel, I decree that every curse in our flesh, every situation of unclean human projection, any projection that is coming from the bottomless pit or the pit of hell, or any magical uncleanness, or any unclean situation of unclean spirit, let according to the will of the Lord upon Enoch and given face to face, let his weapon destroy the enemies of our life and progress we are making. This is none of their business, but to be prepared. If they wish to prepare and war before the Lord, not you, but when they war before you, the Lord will war against them, because it is the Lord's enemy that have become your enemy. May the Lord continue to rule in this very powerful place, and rule in Nkonya, the great city of the Lord, and the power of him, and rule the world, the whole world, because I am great mighty one, the Lord. And this is great people. If you're not such a great person, you can never carry anything like this, because it carries what? Message of the what? Angels. The powerful Lord's own message. And the creature and the spirit that the angels minister, you cannot stand it. That's why it tells how dreadful or fearful certain things should be like. Even if you don't know it, you are seeing it alive. Thank you so much for making this time with us, because I do really appreciate your time. And every little word you hear here is actually a spirit that also quickening you. So if the books of Enoch and many brilliant ones, or the spirit of the Lord himself, the true book of the spirit of the Lord, are left out, it's not because they are left out. They are so powerful that you cannot contain as a human, unless the person who is prepared for it comes in their place. Like I'm saying and telling you now, it is not just a book for reading. No, it is instructions. It is what the Lord has planned to do, and powerfully. Enoch is the only book that you can actually say from the beginning. He had many good things shown him, and being carried from place to place in the heavens, and had written on many things, and had been given also more information about the future as we live in now. Enoch mentioned what compass, and what compass again. So Enoch is actually a great mighty one. You cannot just say he's a man. He's beyond what you understand. So let his understanding of the angels and the good thing of the Lord break every covenant of any altar, of any initiation. If the devil wish to contend with us, let the power and weapons of the truth of the real and his understanding, and the brilliance of terror of the Lord and his face which is shining like a fire of greatness and like the shining of the sun, that it war against the enemy in the vision of the vision and the dream of dream and in the realms of the ungodly. Let the Lord dwell in the vision and powerfully appear before them that try to contend with you. Break them out of you. Thank you. I'll be right back. Great, and welcome to Mission and Medicine Lesson. That is our live broadcast coming from all the way from the wilderness, somewhere special that we have always had a great challenge in doing the right thing. Doing the right thing. What I mean by challenge means that I'm putting in more effort. It means that where it is not forthcoming, we put in multiple strength and spirit and invoking nothing but imploring. I implore and implore